Okay, Sunday, November 13th. All right, morning everybody. Have to do this so I know where I'm going to start the video when I put it up on YouTube. All right, so I've been emphasizing again these 4 points, right? Just inside of the joint here, right, and just inside of the joint here. So when I talk about the front of the joints, I'm talking about those muscles there, and you try to just slowly practice learning how to flex right in here. Just really gently flexing. So if you can, right, so if I don't know if you can see the stick moving here. Right, so when right. Oh, Bond, come. It's always easier if she does it, right? So if she pushes her hand right over here, face straight at me, push mine, yeah, stiff, yeah, stiff arm, stand straight, and just straighten your arm, yeah, straighten your arm, yeah. And push into here. So you don't want to lift the shoulder or anything. You just want to learn how to just flex that muscle right there. Yeah. So like I said, it's like when you watch Terry Crews bouncing his pecs around, or those muscle men bodybuilders, and they bounce the pecs but nothing else moves. So you just think about these muscles, and then slowly just try to move only that muscle. Look at yourself in the mirror, make sure your shoulders aren't lifting, and it's just the muscle moving. And then when you expand, right, if your arm is coming out from you, right after halfway is when you start to really flex that muscle, and it'll push the arm out. Okay? So push the arm out, and that way your joints can be loose, right? We want the joints to be loose and open, right? So you flex from here. And the more you flex, it'll actually drop your elbow down. Okay? So you just think of that point, and it'll self-correct your form. Okay? And it'll help to round you out. So from the back, I don't know if you can kind of see it. So instead of being here, when the arms come forward, the back will round, the shoulders will round, the inside will round. When I first learned, they would say, oh, concave, right? When you're holding the ball, it's concave. So things like standing straight, pulling your shoulders back, pulling your shoulder blades back, those are, I think of them more as exercises in therapy to help pull the muscles, stretch the muscles, to stand straight. And sometimes if you're really trying to correct your posture, you might hold that, right, just to stretch it and teach you. But eventually you can't be like this. You have to eventually let it go, and you want everything falling in place naturally. Okay? So there's nothing wrong with doing the exercises to pull your shoulder blades back, and we do that in our warm-up. Okay? So whenever the arms come forward, that's when you flex a little bit more as they drop back. If I try to flex right here in the middle, where my hands are right about the middle, I can feel a little bit of movement, but it doesn't really translate. And if I drop my hand all the way down and I flex, right, there's really no connection to the arm already. So over here it's just awareness. As I come up, if I'm swimming and I want to pull forward, as I'm coming forward, I'm reaching, so this is where I would flex. And right here, I'm pulling through the water, so I have that resistance. So I'm going to hold that flex. And right here, I start losing it. I can feel that I've just lost that leverage and that strength. And as I turn, so no sense flex, it's just wasted energy. And I just think about that. Right, so you can apply this to swimming, you can apply this to anything from there. Okay? And same with inside of the hip joint, inside of the pelvic joint. Just think about that, and then gently flex that muscle and see if your feet will come out. And then the last important point that we're starting to talk about is called the Mingmen, Mingmen, Mingmen or Mingmen, they'll say Mingmen. And from your belly button, it's right opposite. So it's the small of your back. And you know, it's just a point. You think of it just as an acupuncture point. So you just think about that point. Right? So if you hold your arms up like this, really relaxed, right? And you just put your mind in those 4 points, legs out in front of you. Right? Just like you're resting on a large beach ball. Open your throat and relax. And then just imagine it's expanding a little bit, that feeling, and just imagine it has that expansion. Put your mind here, let everything rest. It's empty on the inside, but it's expanding. And then just start thinking of the small of your back, the Mingmen. And when you think of here, right, your intent, your mind will release from every place else in your body because you're thinking of here, even though you set up the structure. And as you get used to that feeling and you learn that feeling, it'll just feel a little bit fuller just by thinking of the Mingmen. Okay? So if you're doing a movement where you come out and you think of the Mingmen point and then you relax, right? And then you come out, you surge, and you think of the Mingmen, or imagine you're rolling back, like you're just rolling back, and you think of the Mingmen point. Thinking of the Mingmen point will enhance the movement. It will enhance the feeling of the movement, fuller feeling, and then you start to understand the riddles, right? It's empty, but it's not empty. It's empty in the middle, but you'll feel that quality. Yeah, I like the term where Yang Dewa uses quality, right? Talking about the qualities. So as you refine, it gets really hard to put an exact definition on it, but you'll start to understand it. Okay? So the other thing we did is to get the proper foot or the proper leg position when you're sitting, right? You want to just extend your legs, sit nice and straight, and then slowly walk the feet back just where it's comfortable and touching. And we want the foot in front of the knee. And then as you think about the inside of the hips and gently activate them, right, the legs will sink down and they'll surge forward a little bit, and then just press your toes and angle your feet down and put your mind here, right, just inside of the hip joint, and release that. And as you think about the hips and the front of the shoulders, the legs will release a little bit more. And as you think of the Mingmen point, then all that tension will release a little bit more. So be sure to always add these 4 points into everything you're doing. Just constantly remind yourself to be aware of these 4 points. Right? Come in a little closer. Okay, bring your hands up. And we'll start our warm-up. And so breathing in as you come up, mind way up in the sky. Think way up in the sky, opening the throat, and relax. Then think deep into the body. And gathering that energy, gathering that chi from way up in the universe. And using your palms, the center of your palms and the fingertips to flow it down, direct it through the center of your body, through your legs, into the earth, displacing the earth chi. Breathing in and out. Tip of the tongue and roof of your throat is open. Feel your lower belly expanding and relaxing and contracting. Expand the hips, open the hips so the legs are sinking and expanding into the earth. Top of the head is just lightly suspended from above. The throat is open. The sun is in the chest, warm and cool. The feeling of smiling into the heart and out from the heart, projecting from the heart. Breathing in from the earth. Feel the legs sink as you imagine pulling and drawing the chi up through your legs, through the spine, through the neck, over the top of the head, down the front of the body, flowing back into the earth. Just always aware of those 4 points. Release all the tension in your facial muscles. Feel the jaws letting go. Flow the chi inside of the bones. Imagine you stimulating the bone marrow, stimulating the bone growth, stimulating the blood production. White blood cells, red blood cells. Imagine the bones getting stronger and thicker, denser. All the bones are alive. Do this for every bone of your body. You look at an anatomy chart if you need to. Bones around your wrist, all the small bones in your fingers, your palms. There's a small little bone under your jaw, the hyoid bone. The skull, imagine the skull is still getting thicker and stronger. Imagine it flowing out through the shoulder blades and the arms, inside of the bones, and flowing out through the fingertips. Every bone in your body is alive. Every bone in your body is cleaning itself out, regenerating. Yeah, then come up from the side, eyes looking over the palms far away, looking at the mountain. Breathing in and out. Feel the fingertips extending. Scooping down, filling up the whole body with energy, every muscle cell. Deep breath. And squeeze all that energy through every muscle of your body. And slowly let it go. Everything balances out and the energy rushes back in. And then focus it in the bone. Imagine you squeezing the bones, wringing the bones out. And slowly letting go so the blood and the chi can rush back into the bones, and then the ligaments and tendons, every attachment point, every joint, squeezing and twisting, and then slowly letting go so all the chi can flow back into the tissues. And then let everything balance itself out, taking your time. And then gently close your eyes. Just for a few breaths, think of Wuji, think of nothingness. Let everything go, no tension, no intent. The bottom of the feet release from the earth. The top of the head is not suspended. You're just trying to get that perfect posture, that perfect form, and relax. Feel yourself letting everything go. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel the tension in your face release. Feel your hips release. Feel the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the fingers release. And slowly start smiling, that feeling of smiling, that quality of smiling. Slowly feel your head being suspended from above, opening up the neck and slowly pulling and suspending the spine. Start thinking of those 4 joints. Slowly expand your feet into the ground so the bottom of your feet are touching the earth. The knees are straight. The elbows release. Make sure you're taking a nice deep breath as you breathe in and relaxed breath as you exhale. Eyes opening slowly. Take a deep breath. Let it all out. Take a second deep breath. Let it all out. Take a third deep breath. Let it all out. Think of the front of your shoulder joints and the front of your hip joints. Feel your body rounding. And then think of the small of your back. And then as you breathe in, start the warm up, picking up your palms, breathing in. Just thinking of those 5 points, the front of the joints and the Mingmen. And exhale. Sternum lifts a little bit. Don't let go of those 5 places. Go at your own speed, your own pace. Listen to your body. Take your time. Notice your arms don't extend very far. They won't pass your knees. They'll stop in front of your knees. As long as you're holding those 4 joints, those 4 places. As you drop the head, let it pull gently on your neck. And let that pull go all the way down to your tailbone. And relax the hip, relax the waist. Number 2, one hand up, one hand down. Remember, the mind focuses a little bit more on the arm that's down, that shoulder. And exhale. Right, rolling that ball up through the arm. And breathing in as you turn. You're emphasizing the shoulder, the front of the shoulder joint where the arm is down. And then it balances. And then you switch. Breathing in. Finish the breath. Fingertips a little bit expanded and rolling the ball up and down the forearm through the center. Each time you turn your head a little bit more, we're trying to warm up the neck, stretch those muscles, loosen up the joints. And last time, when you're done, come back to center, height of throat. Hold the ball in the center, right in front of the throat. Throat is open, no restrictions. 3 times. Sun in the chest. And that feeling of smiling. Okay, squeezing the shoulder blades. Imagining the shoulder blades touching. You can't squeeze anymore. Just pull them up and over in the front, turning the palms the whole time. Still aware of the joint in the front, but not worrying about flexing. The legs are a little bit expanded, so they're holding that expansion into the earth, rooting into the earth. And then come forward when you're done. Breathing naturally. Squeeze when you come back, rolling them down and turning the palms continuously. Go at your own speed, your own pace. All the way down, relax a little bit, and then one side. So no matter what we're doing, you're always aware of the front of the four joints. And a little bit of awareness on the Mingmen, just thinking of the Mingmen. Come forward after 3 times. Try to look straight ahead, scanning the horizon. Imagining you're in front of that beautiful mountain. Do 3 times. And then relax a little bit and switch to the other arm. Squeezing back first, looking straight ahead. Put your mind under the shoulder blade. Let the body turn, let the waist turn, let the head turn, the neck turn. Do 3 times back and 3 times switching to front. Pull the shoulder blade forward. All the way down. Okay, relax a little bit, and then 1 time back to front, and then front to back. Okay, and then we'll do our circles. All the way down, relax a little bit, and then loose circles. Okay, arms in front, still holding the front of those 4 joints in your mind. Just thinking of the Mingmen point. And then slow it down. Okay, and then make sure you coordinate, breathing in and out. Loosen your hips, loosen the waist, loosen the pelvic, loosen the shoulders and the neck. And slowly allow your body to turn while you're doing the movement. Right, the legs are expanded, that light flex from all the joints, that light flex of the ligaments and tendons of those 4 joints, inside the 4 joints, towards the spine. And thinking of the Mingmen point. Feel how nice and rounded the shoulders and the hips are. Last time, breathing in, and then slowly letting everything go. Let everything slowly fall into place. Keeping a nice posture. Okay, moving to our spine, holding the ball in the middle first. Okay, feeling that roundness in the front of the shoulders, roundness from the hips, and then slowly separating, holding that roundness in the front of the shoulder. Upper palm turns out. And don't give up that roundness in the front of the shoulder. Just relax and slowly let it stretch. Relax the hip, the spine, every vertebrae. Head suspended from above, legs falling into the earth. Take a deep breath and expand. And release when you're ready. Remember to smile into the heart and smile out from the heart. Continuous breathing, rolling that ball through the forearm, breathing in. Make sure you finish the breath. And out. Feel the warmth of the palm rolling against the forearm. Feel that quality of smiling from the heart. Imagine that sun rolling in the chest, warm and cool, floating, putting out energy to the whole body. The body sends it where it needs it. And that sun in your chest is connected to the sun in the sky. So gently tapping the power of the sun. Turn the palm and wash the outside. Turn your body, turn the waist. Then lift by the forehead, fall by the belly button. Keep the circle nice and small. And expand. Flexing those four joints and then releasing them. And then breathing in as the palms pass each other, turning. And exhaling. And starting to flex and breathe in. And exhales and letting go of the four joints, just aware of them. Don't forget to think of the Mingmen point. Breathing in, exhaling, and breathing in. And exhale, and one last time. Breathing in. And exhale, and then breathing in, and exhale, coming back to the heart. Let everything go. Relax the shoulders. Feel the waist. Imagine the waist is still turning and rotating from that last set of movements. Hold the ball up and down. Relax the shoulders, drop the elbows, and keep on turning, breathing in gently. Eyes scanning the horizon, scanning the mountain. Palms turning and rotating. Let the body turn, let the waist turn, let the head turn. Moving from the center. Just imagine the waist turning and everything else following. Just imagine it's happening and feel like it's moving by itself. Nice deep breath, and when you release, that's when you start turning back. Last time. Come back to solar plex. Tilt the sternum up nice and deep. And holding those 5 points in front of the four joints and the Mingmen point. Smiling and projecting way in front of you. And slowly let everything come back to center. Looking straight ahead. Okay, one leg presses into the earth, sinking into the hip, and when you feel the other side release, then you pick it up. Let the arms go, and then transfer, sinking, pressing, sink into that joint, the inside of the joint, until you feel the other side release. And just reset yourself. Okay, loosen everything up first before we start moving to the lower body. Right, the pelvic joints, the hip waist area. Just practice pressing one side into the ground. Right? You're just pressing heavy, then sink into that joint. Right? You can feel yourself sinking back into that joint. And then when this side releases, then you can pick it up You're holding this, hold, hold, hold. Touches down, slowly start sinking into the other side. Press, 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 and into that joint, sink. And then when you feel this side release, then pick it up. Pick it up as high as you comfortably can, and then slowly let it down. You're still holding 100%, 100%. Now you start switching, right, and sink into this side. When you sink fully, this side will release. One last time. Just practice that. Hold that, hold that. Now start switching. Sink. When you feel this side release, just sinking into here. Make sure the toes are on the ground. And then slowly come back to center. Okay, shake that out. And just let the legs rest on the earth and the palms. Pulling and drawing the chi up. Back is straight but relaxed, and then pumping it back down. Okay, so the mind focusing now in the front of the shoulders. Hold that roundness. Sink. Right, it doesn't really flex, it just kind of holds that shape during this movement, and let it go all the way down. You can feel that release, and then start pulling up. It just begins to flex, just to hold that shape, and it's just holding that roundness. And slowly start thinking of the front of the hips. You can feel the thighs activating, and then slowly expand both legs into the earth. So both legs are pressing, pressing, pressing into the earth. When both legs are pressing, you can't really sink into either joint yet. Right? And then sink into one, left or right. Just sink. And when the other side releases, then we begin hands and legs. Right? You have to hold that, hold that. Now switch, sink into that joint, the back leg releases, and down, and then start slowly switching and sink into the back hip. Just holding that, holding that. Now slowly switching. Right? When the leg releases, then you pick it up. Sorry, I'm going off a little bit. That's all right. The more you can sink into that one hip, right, you'll just release the other leg. And the leg will just float during the whole time. It's really focusing into those hip joints. Just committing 100% into the hip joints during this movement. Picking up the knee as high as you comfortably can without sinking the upper body. Keeping the back straight, the head suspended from above. Yeah, the head is up, looking straight ahead. Looking straight ahead during the whole movement. And last time, we come back to center. Just come back to center. Hold the ball. Okay, drop one knee, turn the opposite way, and as we stretch, this is the side you need to flex. This is the side you need to flex. And then they'll stretch a little bit more, or reach a little bit more, and then come back to center, exhaling. Drop the other knee. So this is the side we're going to flex. This is the side we're going to flex as you're expanding. Breathing in, and then slowly letting it come back to center. And the other side. And slowly, right about halfway, you notice that's where you start flexing a little bit. Just about halfway. It releases. Right about here, and you start flexing. One more time each side. Remember, you can take a bigger step if you want. Oh, let's do one more each side. Do one more time each side. Just thinking of those joints, the inside of those joints. You think of the inside of those joints, that stretch will come out by itself. You don't have to force the stretch. Okay, and come back to center. Think way deep inside. Just think deep inside your body. Think of the Mingmen point. Mingmen point, the small of your back, opposite the belly button. Okay, loose fists resting on the hips. Relax, take a breath, let everything go, and then begin. Sink into one side, and then when the other leg releases, then you start your movement. Push the heel out. Push the knee down. Feel the back of the leg stretching, and then lift, right, holding that other joint down, and then transferring. Push that knee down so the back of the leg stretches, and then lift, holding that other leg down, holding into that joint the whole time, and then switching. This time we're going to pump the foot down. When you release, let everything. Make sure you can feel the toes touching down on the standing foot, even though you're sinking into that hip joint. One more time. Let the waist turn. These are the movements that are going to strengthen the correct hip muscles, the correct muscles to pick up your leg for walking. At the same time, keeping everything loose. At the same time, the standing leg is sinking and rooted, connected to the ground. So you want to feel the whole bottom of the foot relax, but connected to the ground. Right? Don't tense the bottom of the standing leg, the bottom foot of the standing leg. Last time each side. And last one. Slowly come back. Take your time. Take your time. Listen to your body. Relax a little bit. Take a breath. Okay, loosen up if you need to. If you feel tight, just loosen everything up before we do the next one. Okay, coming down to our ankles. Again, heart. Right. Use this opportunity to feel to do the heart Qigong while we're doing warm up. While you're loosening up the ankle. Right, while we're focusing on the inside of the hip. So we're going to just hold one side. Right? The whole time we're flexing the ankle, you just have to hold and sink into there. You're going to feel the bottom of your pelvic bone sinking into the seat. That's what we want. Right? So whichever side you do, sink that down. The other leg releases. Just hold that there the whole time. Just hold that there. Your body is straight and upright. Just take your time. As long as you're holding this down, this side is going to float. Think of the front of the shoulders too to help release the shoulders. Okay, and then come back to center. Switching, sinking into the other side, 45. Bottom of the feet are relaxed. Take your time so you can make these corrections and refine as much as you can. Relax the breath, open the throat. Just hold that in there so the other leg just floats up in the air. Come back to center and then switch. And small toe, big toe. Think of the front to release the shoulders. Think of the Mingmen to help fill that space up. We're always playing with holding the ball or being round like a ball. empty on the inside, a light expansion, right? The feeling of Pung. So we're studying Pung. We're studying the structure of Pung. Okay. Slowly transferring and smiling, filling everything up with that beautiful smile, that feeling, that quality of smiling. Smiling from the heart, projecting from the heart, leading with the heart. And come back to center when you're done. Slowly release. Loosen everything up. So when we do our practices in between switching, transitioning, how you transition is important. That's, even though it's 1 or 2 seconds, if you do it slowly and thoughtfully, then if you did 3 minutes of an exercise and you did it slowly and thoughtfully transition, you're still holding that. Maybe that's 4 minutes. And when you do the next 3 minutes, that's 7 minutes. But if you let it go, then it's like starting all over again. Right? So if you don't just drop it and let it go, then you're really still holding on to that feeling, you're holding on to that practice. Okay, if you need to stand up and shake everything out, take a break as you need to. Not you. Okay, so yeah, I hope you're just finding these joints, and the front that flex. When they flex, I can feel everything sinking down. Has that feeling like it sinks and it rounds itself, and then it comes forward. So that's like the elbow, the whole shoulder blade drops, the elbow tucks in a little bit, and then it surges forward. And when I sink into here, when I really sink into here, I don't want to let the whole body collapse. Right? That's still upright, but just sinking. I can feel myself dropping. It feels like this releases a little bit because it's dropping down here. Right? Even though I'm trying to expand, I have to make this the priority, and then this side would just release as if I'm holding it down. It's like, if you think of it like a seesaw, right? If you hold one side down to the ground and the other side just keeps floating and floating and floating, right? The person on there can do whatever they want, but that seat will not drop. Okay? But as soon as you let go of that bottom one a little bit and that seat drops and this becomes a little bit unstable, then that person on there has to struggle to keep that stability. But if it's just holding down and has that constant pressure, right, that top seat is just stable, and that person can bounce and run and do somersaults, whatever they want, wiggle around. Right? But as soon as you release a little bit, then they have to struggle for that stability. Right? They have to, they have to be a little bit more careful what they're doing, because this is not stable anymore. Right? It's moving around. So, yeah, I hope you're experimenting and just trying to find that seated and standing. Okay? And then adding the Mingmen. So, if anybody just joined us, right, we're continuing to talk about these 4 areas. So even though I say the joint, right, it's not the joint itself, right? If you fold and you feel where the joint folds, it's inside. So, right, so if I'm pressing here right into the joint and my hand falls, it's this area here. The same thing with the qua, right? It's the understanding the joint is important, but what we're activating is inside, right, towards the spine, inside that muscle. So if you're activating these muscles, right, you're not locking the joint. They're expanding, and that's what we want. We also want the muscles, we also want the joints to be loose and open, expansion. Okay, so we're always, during the whole warm-up, during the whole set, in our form, you're creating, that's Pung, that's the shape and the quality of Pung. Okay? Not necessarily applying it, but learning the quality of tongue. Expansion, empty on the inside, loose, relax. Yeah, that soap bubble that I will talk about. Okay. What? Okay, so hands up. As you do this, stretch, expand, loosen all the joints. Find your breath, relax your breath. Open the top of your head, open the whole central channel, open all the chakras, open the root, relax all the joints. Imagine the upper body expanding upwards from the waist and the lower body sinking into the earth. So we need the waist, the hip to be loose. And if you're expanding from that inside of the joint where we're talking about, and you're thinking of the Mingmen, and you're thinking of the front of the shoulders, the joints can loosen up. Let everything go. Before we begin our set, we want to practice Wuji, nothingness. So let everything go. Just that perfect little soap bubble. Not affected by anything. Just sitting there. Relax the facial muscles. Don't squint, don't scrunch up the face, don't bite down. Listen to the tension in your jaw and let it go. Imagine every point of your jaw where the teeth are. Relax that. Make sure as you breathe in, your belly is rising and falling. Throat is open. Remember, you always have that little sun in the chest, warm and cool. And the feeling of smiling. And if you feel your body shaking and vibrating, just let it go. That means things are opening up. Energy is moving around. Your joints are starting to loosen up. The meridians are starting to open. The channels are starting to open so the chi can flow. Just smile to yourself and enjoy it. Slowly open your eyes. And slowly start suspending your head from above. Slowly start expanding your feet into the ground. Make sure the whole bottom of your foot is relaxed, but gently the whole bottom of your foot from the heel through the tip of your toes can feel the earth, feel the ground. Slowly create that awareness of the front of those 4 shoulder areas, the front of the 4 joint areas. And slowly start thinking of the Mingmen point. Then double check and release any unnecessary tension. Take a deep breath as you're doing this. Slowly let it all out. Take a second deep breath. Eyes looking straight ahead. Let it all out. And take a third deep breath. Let it all out. Make sure you're smiling to yourself. It's smiling from the heart. That little sun in the chest, warm and cool. Slowly when you're ready, as you breathe in, slowly pick up your arms. Slowly activating the front of all the joints, those 4 major joints, and thinking of the Mingmen. Bringing the chi to your heart, syncing everything up. Rolling the chi away. Just warming it up, waking it up, bringing it in from the bottom of the body, through the root, up through the body, waking up all the organs. And then bringing it back. 1, open and close, emphasizing the heart Qigong. Single whip, number 4, turning to your right. Turn and press. and then open. Right where it's even, that single whip, and then you keep on turning, flowing into one saw. This first one is just setting up one saw, right, and then you start counting 3 times. Standing, this would be the first step. And the leg would follow. Turn a little bit more. This would be the second step. Eyes looking over the fingertips. And the other leg would be following. And this would be the third step. So coming back to center, turn a little bit to your left as you spiral back. Emphasizing the heart, smiling to yourself, projecting. And then repeat on the left side. So turn and press. And right after halfway, start turning and opening. Right here, single whip. And then flow into one saw. So this is the setup for one saw. And then this is the first step. You're standing, this would be the first step. And the leg would step in. And then the second step, holding that roundness, holding the front of the 4 joints, keeping the mind on the Mingmen. Feeling that lightest of expansion. No restrictions, no resistance. Just flowing. And then coming back to center, turning a little bit to the right as you spiral back right into an open and close. Emphasizing the heart Qigong. Next one, brushing the knee. Right side first. So turn and slide the right hand up. Breathing in, then fingertips. Gently exhaling and then lifting the sternum. Light expansion. Keep on turning while the palms turn center. And then turn to your right 45 degrees. Left hand slides up. Right hand holding the pipa. Fold. Right palm under the left elbow. Then parry right and then parry left. Keeping the mind on those 4, the front of the 4 joints and the Mingmen point. Flip the hand over. Turn, 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 turn until you have a plus sign in front of you. Breathe in and start grabbing. Exhale and squeeze the fist, letting the right fist come forward. And then release both. Body center, then rolling back, gathering, compressing, and then double palm pushing the mountain. Expand. Expand the 4 joints and then holding that expansion while you come back to center. And then repeating on the left side, brushing the knee. So turn and slide the left hand up. Turn the waist, breathing in, drop the palm, exhale. Imagine your fingertips just touching the wall. And then the heel of the palm drops and the sternum lifts. And you keep on turning to the right. And then 45 to the left to hu pipa, clean the pipa. And then shoot the left palm under the right elbow as you turn. And then parry left. And then parry right. Right? Holding those 4 points in your mind, front of the 4 joints and the Mingmen. Turn and flip the hand over under the left hand. Make a plus sign. Breathe in and start to grab. And exhale and turn and squeeze the fist. And then release. Right wrist meets the left. And drawing back, rolling back. Gathering, compressing, relax. And then lift the sternum. Double palms pushing the mountain. And then slowly bring everything back to the heart, smiling to yourself. Next section. Yeah, repeat brushing the knee on the left side. So turn and slide the left hand up. I'm going to brush the knee, followed by leisurely tying the coat. So point the fingers and turn. It feels a little compact, and then it expands. And then fold into the left. The right hand circles up. Looks almost like whoopie pop, but then you turn the palms forward and drop them down. Notice I'm turning the waist. Elbow down, right under the chin. Drop the elbows in and then expand. Notice my palm comes straight out and then circle. Big spiral sitting on the chair over the tailbone. Drop to the height of the heart. Double palm, release. One, open and close. All the joints are expanded. And repeat on the right side, brushing the knee first. Breathing in, fingertips, and out. Leisurely tying the coat. Hold the right hand out while you turn, and the left hand circles up. The right hand comes down. Turn back while you turn the palms forward and wipe down. Right fingertip connects to the left wrist. Lift and let the elbows fall and tuck in close to you, and then extend. Turn the waist. And big spiral. No resistance. Drop, double palm, and a heart Qigong. Smiling, rolling that sun in the chest. Okay, last section, 5, fist under elbow. So turn, and then open, but start dropping your right hand right away, and right about here, turn the waist. And then turn back. So right fist under left elbow. You have to turn your waist. Breathe in. And as you exhale, turn back. So the fist pushes out, and then release the fist and fold it up. And keep on turning to your right while the left palm falls and brushes down, and you brush the left knee. Lift the sternum. First time. Second one, repulse the monkey, washing down the arm and brushing the right knee. Lift the sternum. Expand in those 4 joints, holding the Mingmen. Relax a little bit on those 4 joints in the Mingmen, and then right here expand and think of the Mingmen expanding the front of the 4 joints. Hold that expansion. Leisurely tying the coat, turn the waist, right? Just holding that roundness. And right here, expansion. Large circle. Drop the shoulder and elbow, double palm swiveling, release. And then turn to your left. Repeat that last section again. Turn and open, and almost immediately start dropping your left and turn your waist. And turn back. Left fist on the right elbow. The body has to turn. Breathe in. As you exhale, turn your waist so the fist pushes out. Squeeze the fist and then release. And then let it fold up and turn to your left while the right hand drops down. Repulse monkey and brushing the right knee. First time. Lift the sternum. Keep on turning. Second time, repulse monkey. Brush the left knee. Fingertips, lift the sternum. Right, hold all these areas and fill up your Mingmen with your mind. And then last time, breathing in and out. Relax a little bit, and then expand. Leisurely tying the gentleman's coat. Right hand circles up while you turn your waist to the left. Palms wiping down, fingertips connect. Tucking the elbows in, Dropping the elbows down, extending, and big spiral. Drop your shoulders and elbows, double palms right in front of the heart, close to the body, and then release. Right into an open close. Just take your time. Right, awareness of the whole body, that light awareness as we close. Feel the sternum lifting. Just imagine it expanding. Holding those 4 points. Mind on the Mingmen. And then slowly letting go. Just aware of those 4 joints. And then sink one hip. Sink into one hip so one leg can release. Trying to let go of the shoulders. And sink into that hip so the front leg can release. Let everything go. Slowly let go. Slowly close your eyes a little bit. Just check your alignment. Smile. Sun in the chest. Slowly letting go of that string suspending you from above. Slowly letting go of the hips. Just relax and breathe. Return back to Wuji, nothingness. Release all the tension in your face, your neck, your shoulders, the whole body. Slowly open your eyes, rub your hands together and move around. So in those start meditations and then any meditation, try to hold them, when you do it on your own, try to hold them for at least 4 breaths, 1 breath in and out. Yeah? And if you have time, just relax and hold them as long as you want. The longer, the better. Okay, so we'll take a little break and then we'll come back and then we're just going to review the whole standing set and hopefully I don't mess up that last part. I have to really think hard, that last fifth section. And then, yeah, maybe we're just kind of finish up in the next few classes. We're actually finishing up the year. Yeah, we're coming out the last month and a half. So the rest of November, December, I'll think about it. You know, we'll just keep in understanding in the second hour, and I'll bring back some Qigong. I think going into the holidays, reviewing some of the meditations, those healing meditations would be a good thing. Yeah, then reminding everybody heart. Yeah. You know, this is the time we're supposed to give thanks and love everybody, but oh, that stress, yeah. So that the heart meditation, right? The sun in the chest, you can do it like this, however you do it, but constantly thinking of that sun in the chest. I put that out on YouTube, so I created a little video so you can study that meditation. And then I talked a little bit about the relationship of the organs, how all the organs in the relation to the heart, and how that's mirrored in our solar system, the planets to the sun. Yeah, so the planets to the sun are all the other organs to the heart organ. And as the sun is in the center, the sun is allowed to be self-centered. It doesn't care. Right? The heart is allowed to be totally self-centered, doesn't care, and it's fine. Right? It's fine. It's totally fine. And you want the organs to express. You want your emotions to express, not hold it in. You have to release it. But then remind yourself that the heart is the leader. So the heart is letting the organs express, right? The fear, the anger, the depression, the melancholy, whatever it is, and then the heart says, okay, that's enough. So put a little note, right? Heart is number one, lead with the heart. Go and once a week, go and look at that meditation to remind yourself on the channel, right? Bookmark it or something. Okay, let's take a little break and then we'll come back. And if you have any questions, you can.